What is up, guys, and welcome to episode 3 of my stream. How are you all doing? I hope you're well. Today's episode is my first segment of guests and games. I'm going to be doing a guest show with my good friend James Stewart, who plays for Bloodshot. He also plays for Vader, Divine Chaos, and a whole host of other bands. I'm going to review some of the new music that his bands are bringing out. I'm going to play you some songs, and me and James are going to reminisce, as we've known each other for over 15 years pretty much. So it's let's go say hi. How you doing, James?
Hey man, I'm good.
Good to see you.
All right. I've got my beer, I've got toilet paper, so everything is
beer and toilet paper. James actually lives in Poland. How are things going over there in Poland right now?
It's a little bit restrictions are kind of getting a bit more relaxed now.
That's good.
So I'm able to go out, get into the practice room,
nice,
shred a bit, hit some stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure that's, for a drummer, it must be hard to electric kits don't really cut it, do they, when you wanna play the
Oh, in Poland everything's flat, so
true that.
It's
But yeah, we're gonna have a chat today about your Divine Chaos, the Bloodshot recording that you've just done, Vader, loads of stuff, and talk about when we were younger. So that's going to be fun. But
right.
I'm gonna well, they were the good times for me.
I know.
For me, at least.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, we're gonna jump straight to it, and I'm gonna check out a song from Divine Chaos, who they just released their album last week. So let's get into that now, shall we? All right. Alrighty. Scott Rudd makes awesome lyric videos, so that's a good start already. Divine Chaos is a band that I've known for many, many years. We've been playing shows alongside them for 10 plus years in the UK scene at least. And the rest, I imagine. Always been fond of these guys, deadly guitar playing. Not sure about the drummer, but if I'm not wrong, this is Jut's first album. New vocalist replaced Benny.
Bodies fill the front lines, till the speeches steal their souls away. Counter strikes and death by situation leads our passageway.
It's nice, smart thrash.
The saints have gone against liberation, freedom's now besold. Clever lies, victimized, power struggle, now we lose control.
Great production as well. It's quite old school sounding. Maybe feels a bit more old school than the previous records. That's not a bad thing. Nice thrasher. It's a bit dynamic with a different vocal style to the screaming as well. I like it. I'm expecting some solos soon. Yeah, I mean, over the years, these guys have really refined their sound for me. You can hear a Divine Chaos song and know it's them if you're knowledgeable of them. Nice drumming there. Won't say too much nice stuff about drums. I can actually see James whilst I'm watching this, but none of you can. I will say thrash is probably my favourite of all the metal genres. I don't know why. I mean, I love a lot of bands specifically for their sounds, but live thrash is unbeatable for me. So these guys do dual shredding like Bloodshot as well. It's a long song, but that's how thrash should be. Just unrelenting and never ending. In my opinion.
We will never hear their final cries. The British foe, wounded crow, take a prisoner and then tell us all.
Crushing guitar tone as well.
We will always eat the battle.
I think it's a messer. Sounds like a messer. Could be wrong though.
Sacrifice upon the shrine. No salvation left behind. Sacrifice upon the shrine. Sacrifice upon the shrine. Sacrifice upon the shrine. Sacrifice upon the shrine.
Alrighty. So that was Upon the Shrine by Divine Chaos. So really love the track. I feel like they go from strength to strength on every record, but this one's definitely a bit hookier than normal. I think that's the addition of Jut's vocals, giving it a bit of a different sound to what I'm used to. But yeah, killer song. They've released the whole album, like I was saying, so you can check out all the details for them on their website. And here's a lovely shot of their album cover, The Way to Oblivion. This Oblivion is a trend that's going to be regularly said on this episode. But yeah, let's go back to James and have a chat about that. So when did you record this album?
I did the album in 3 days between decap shows.
Between shows. So what, you had like a week off on tour or something?
No, I had 3 days off or 4 days off or something.
Nice. Where was it recorded?
It was done at Scott's place, done at Grindstone Studios in
Nice.
Stowmarket. Yeah.
If you don't know Scott Atkinson, very very renowned
Atkins, yeah.
Atkins, sorry.
Yeah. Right.
Very renowned producer. Apparently I don't even know his name, so I'm an idiot.
That's right. DC boys were calling him Scott Atkins for like 10 years.
Yeah, I mean it's fun. Just don't correct him, you know. Yeah, it's unfortunate my chat box isn't working. It seems to just be a grey box, so I might have to get rid of that at some point during the show.
All right, no one wants to ask me any questions.
It's just a void of emotion. But yeah, no, I mean the song sounds really great. The guys obviously have been working really hard for years. When did the band form exactly? Because you
long before me.
Yeah, you weren't the original drummer.
No, I wasn't even like the second or third.
It's a bit of a Spinal Tap thing going on with them. I mean, for me,
it happens to every band behind the scenes, doesn't it?
yeah, of course, yeah.
Before you get big, you have millions of lineup changes.
Yeah, exactly. You got to.
Before you even put out anything,
Yeah.
Divine are not big.
Yeah, before you get to a point where you're releasing an album, there's so much trial and error. I mean, if you release an album too early as well, it could be detrimental to the band, So,
well, Dave Grohl was saying that after Colour and Shape or something, or something like that, he went through everything a band goes through, but in public. So it looked really bad, but it was normal.
Yeah. So,
and that's a good lesson
for sure.
This just happens. So yeah, I'm like drummer number at least 3 or 4.
I mean, I think you're probably number. Yeah, you're number 3 for us. So, no, you're not. That's a lie. You're number 4 for us.
Yeah, there you go. For Vader, I'm number.
One of the drummers just like disappeared. So, who knows what happened to him? And he disappeared out of my memory as well. Sorry, Nick. Love you, really, bro.
Stories like that. Drummers who are booked for a show and then just never show up. Stuff like that.
What would you say is your favourite memory with DC? Because I know the boys are keen drinkers, and you guys have toured with loads of bands. Like you toured with Venom, and stuff like that. We've had some super mad nights. Anything that's fairly PG, but not can come out. So anything in particular that comes to mind? The memories are flooding in.
There's loads of funny stuff, but I don't know what's PG.
What is PG? I mean, that's a question in itself.
The parents will certainly be guiding the children away.
I don't know how many children will be watching me, but hopefully not too many.
It was a pretty debaucherous time, especially like when I joined the band. I was like 18. Everybody else was like 25.
Yeah.
So I just thought, what the fuck have I walked in on? Seriously.
But yeah, I mean, a great experience for you. Obviously, you toured with Vader through playing with Divine Chaos before you joined Vader, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yeah.
That was the Venom.
Exactly how I ended up joining the band, basically.
That was the Venom tour, wasn't it?
No.
No, was it? No. It was
sorry. DC and Vader together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did double duty on that tour. Yeah.
But you toured obviously Europe with DC before, so you were on the radar of the right people to get that gig, I guess.
It was DC Vader.
Mm-hmm.
That whole tour. It was DC as you drown Vader, and we're talking 10 years ago now, over 10 years ago.
We're gonna go further back in a minute after this.
No, 10 years.
I can't even really remember.
It's been that long, and it actually has been that long. Oh my god. We're putting some pressure on the old grey cells today.
It's just got to be done, man. There's nothing else to think about.
Just remember all those times when things were marginally less shit.
But yeah, I mean, so we're going back even further. Say, I think it's about 15 years. I played a gig with James in Reading with his band at the time, Unhallowed Apollyon, if I'm not mistaken.
Unhallowed Apollyon, yeah.
Yeah, with our good mutual buddy Nimai. Yeah, I mean, that was with Zerath as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably.
An early incantation of Zerath.
And it could even be DC,
I honestly cannot remember all the sport bands.
DC could have easily been on the bill. That's how they found me.
How old were you then? You were not old enough to be in a pub situation.
I wasn't old enough to. My old man was there.
Yeah. Honestly, I'll never forget that. That was the first time I met James, and he just smashed out a drum solo in between songs and stuff, and was just playing
We didn't have enough songs. That's why.
Yeah, Nemo was just like, James is just gonna hit some stuff, and it was just crazy because you showed signs of having pretty ridiculous talent back then. Because back then, Bloodshot was, barely able to put together a Metallica cover, to be honest. So seeing you drum in an extreme way like that, and I mean that was one of our first out of town gigs. That was one of our first gigs in Reading. We got to play there quite a few times actually early on. And
Turks was a pretty vibrant place back in the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember there was a massive pillar in front of the stage, wasn't there? If I'm not mistaken.
Maybe even on the stage.
Yeah.
No, in front. Akakoka played there.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely
a gig down there.
I mean, I didn't go to a huge amount of Reading shows because I was a bit away, but it's definitely one of the big venues that helped the scene back then. Launch bands.
Well, it wasn't a big venue.
It helped launch bands like Silosis and stuff like that. Though I'm pretty sure they all played in Face Bar and
Face Bar.
Yeah, Face Bar as well. Yeah, that's another
Face Bar. And then when Sub 89 came onto the scene, it was like everything, anything big was there.
Yeah. So no, I mean that was good times, and then
Turks was like the railway for the
the railway. God, I remember once
convenient, small.
Me and Nemo put Decapitated on in the railway. That was mental.
Oh, we did. I was there.
Yeah, that was like the most oversold, not sold out show that I've ever put on. That was disgraceful.
Have All On had to actually take a break. You remember that? He had to actually.
Yeah. I mean, he practically passed out because the pit was crazy. I mean,
it was nuts, man. I thought I was going to pass out.
Everyone was drunk as well. It was just it was carnage. It was a really great show though. Like, I mean, one of my favourites of all time.
Drink on that day. I had to drive home, so.
But yeah, I mean, I wasn't drinking either because I was trying to run the show, but. Let's just say Nemo wasn't on the same page when he was co-promoting. He was definitely
on that page.
Setting up with him and Vogue after the show was a challenge. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, no, I mean, good times in the Hampshire and Berkshire venues. Trying to think of other venues. Did you ever play in the George in Andover back in the day?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
That's a classic one of the same sort of variety.
What was it? We did Mercy Give Us last gig with DC there.
Yeah. I love that venue, though. It had an awesome owner as well. Killer guy.
First Unhallowed Apollyon gig was there as well.
There you go.
Chaos was supporting Chaos Blood.
Chaos Blood. That's a blast from the past. I still have their Medusa T-shirt. Do you remember the one he used to sell it during the song? He'd come out and it was like the best marketing I've ever seen. They'd play like a death metal song and then they had an instrumental part, and the singer would come out with the shirts and literally hand them to you and be like 10 quid. And I fell into the trap. I was like, oh man. They were good though. Yeah, really, really great band. Really, really good.
They actually were really good.
I wonder what they're doing nowadays.
Played there back in the day as well.
Yeah. I think Necrophagus played in there, if I'm not mistaken.
With Origin support?
I think it was one of those tours. Yeah, it was like
wouldn't surprise me.
It was like a classic back in 2005 or 6 or 7 or something like that.
Back in those days, promoters could get away with being so cheeky like that.
I mean, the backstage of that venue was just a toilet, essentially.
Which, let's face it, for the UK is luxury.
Yeah. I mean, there wasn't a seat, but there was. I think there was a door with no lock. So, just a door is like that. That's a luxury right there. So,
the other almost London venue, like Ryanair London venue, is the Nag's Head. High Wycombe. Oh my God, yeah. High Wycombe in itself is just... what's the place that's in between Reading and Bristol as well? Swindon, yeah. They had a classic venue there that I played one time. I can't remember. It was the Furnace, maybe?
Yeah, the Furnace. It's like on the side of the motorway or something. It was...
Oh, no. I think the Furnace was If it was called this, it was in the centre of town.
It might have been there. I don't know. I just remember it being it was a pretty cool venue though, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, it's great that we have so many venues around at that time. Talking of which, I mean, a lot of the independent venues and stuff in the UK have just announced a new scheme, and so if you can look into yeah. Well, it's basically just to try and keep everyone afloat, you know. Try and get money from the government to keep it all going. So if you guys out there want to look into your local venues, because they might be looking for support and stuff like that, maybe not financially necessarily, you know, try and check it out, because venues are going to be suffering hard in these times, and obviously we need the venues to play in. So, you know, if you go to places a lot to watch gigs, try and take care of them, because, you know, we need them to carry on, really. Talking of gigs and stuff, how is it being an extreme metal touring drummer? I mean, what in the last 5 years?
Well, now, post-COVID, boring as hell.
Or pre, obviously. Because I mean, in the last 5 years, how many shows do you reckon you've averaged per year? Maybe at least 150, probably. Maybe not. With all the sessions and stuff.
That. Sometimes 2018 was like 180.
180 shows in 1 year, guys. That's dedication. I mean, there's not many death metal musicians in the world that are doing that many shows. In reality, I can't.
No, that was a bit much, honestly. But
how did you manage it? How did you manage learning all the? Because I'm assuming you played with a bunch of bands for that.
Well, yeah, Vader had a busy year.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
But Vader at this point is kind of automatic, so that's
that's like
doesn't require too
breathing.
Much brain power. Let's say the show does, but the
more physicality, I'd say.
Well, no, when you're at the show, when you're playing the show, you need to concentrate. But
yeah, of course.
You don't need to. I don't need to learn songs every day.
No.
I just do reminder sessions every couple of weeks.
Yeah, because you've already put in the time anyway with those, so
thousands of hours.
Exactly.
But then, you know, I did a European run with Vader, and then immediately afterwards did a European run with Skeleton Witch.
Yeah.
You were at the...
Yeah, I was at the Manchester gig. That was really cool as well. Really great show.
So that was like 50 shows in a row. And halfway through the tour, I had to switch set lists. You know, like...
Not just set lists, style as well, stylistically. And
like just jump in a bus where I knew absolutely no one. It was the first tour I'd ever done where I didn't know anyone.
Amazing. How did that go? Was it
amazing?
It was an interesting experience, like to have a fresh sort of situation.
I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I guess because you didn't know exactly what to expect. It was maybe a bit more exciting from the norm because you're so used to grinding out the shows all the time.
Well, yeah, and also, I mean, Skeleton Witch has got like this. We all bonded over thrash.
Yeah. That's
like
a good
common.
That's a good
like
way to bond.
Death metal in there, but thrash is also like a really core component for them, and good old fashioned rock and roll, you know. So we would first rehearsal we were talking about AC/DC and Zeppelin and stuff. So it was like, okay, I'm going to be fine.
Yeah, and that's good. That's good.
But I went straight from the last Vader show, had 6 hours in a hotel, and then flew straight to rehearsal.
Where was
just in
and straight on the road. So how do you keep in shape and stuff then? Doing so many shows, and because obviously
by doing that many shows
for everyone out there, like being on the road in between the shows can be quite like taxing because you're not really doing much. You're not getting much chance to exercise and stuff. How do you like keep in shape? Do you just warm up and strong warm ups or what? Obviously I know what you do, but we're doing it for the people out there, if you know what I mean.
You know, I used to hit the gym while I was on tour.
That's good. Well, just local gyms or whatever that you can find, sort of thing.
Find a gym. But the thing is, I did it for a couple tours, and I realized I don't really like it because if I overdo it, then the show is horrible.
Yeah. You don't want to tire yourself out. I guess it's about a balance. I mean, that's another thing. What about your diet? Like, do you have a strict diet that you stick to, or do you try and you don't drink too much, or?
I try not to and fail.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have fun. That's why we're here, right?
Especially, that man. You know our Polish crew.
Yeah,
if
vodka's like blood to them.
Yeah,
they need it. But
and also, the crew is still almost the same. It's still Vatic and Kuba.
How long do you think they've been crewing with Vader for now? Approximately, me. Yeah. So
before me, we've all Vatic, Kuba, and we've all been together 9 years.
Yeah. So it's that's dedication. Those guys are the best, though. I mean,
yeah.
I've worked with them a few times myself, and they're always super professional. And they, even when just being a support band, they're always helpful and trying to make sure you do. Obviously for their own good, they're trying to make sure you do things swiftly, but they don't just rush you along. They actually help you do it. And they're some of the best in the business, really, right now.
So that's actually and that ties into how I kind of tend to keep in shape. If I'm not feeling too hot, or if I had a little bit too much the night before or whatever, or a
little bit of self-inflicted pain.
Yeah, then I'll help out with the loading.
Yeah, and sweat it out. Yeah.
Yeah, and it works every time.
That's nice. So, in the last year, what would you say is the best show that you've played? Like just for any band, like what was the one where you were like, "Well, that got me hyped."
I mean, there's
because you toured with so many different acts. You don't have to favoritize or anything. Just for your personal experience. When did you come off stage thinking, "Yeah, that killed it"? Then that was great.
There's been plenty. I mean, the first ever Vader show, the real Vader show, not the one in London, but the.
Oh yeah. We got to talk about that at some point.
Show I did. It was Vader, Exodus, Morbid Angel, Judas Priest.
Where was that?
In a stadium in Poland.
Oh, that's crazy.
No, arena. Technically, it's arena. It's like 8,000-9,000 cap.
Incredible.
But still,
And that was your first official gig with them.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
that's one way to start off. I think Yanni, when he joined us, he had a similar thing. His first gig was the Bloodstock main stage. It's like, yeah, good luck, man. Have fun with that. Right. Well, I think I'm gonna play a song actually. It's time for me to ruin everyone's ears. I'll give you a break so you can get a beer and do what you got to do. We're gonna come back and I've got gonna do an interview style questions with James in a bit, but
a few have come in, have they?
Yeah, we've got some questions. If anyone's got any more awesome questions for James, feel free to fire them out there. I can't see them on the stream, but I do have everything coming up in a chat box, so I can answer and ask questions as they come in. All right, so we'll speak to you in a minute, James, and I'm gonna get ready to play a song. Alright guys, today I'm going to be playing a song from the first album. I'm going to try and get a bit better view. I'm using my V for this one. So we had the Into the Oblivion album. So now I'm going to play the song Beckoning Oblivion, I think. That is not Beckoning Oblivion. Give me one moment. Alright, I'm not going to make you listen to the whole intro. enjoy, guys. Hopefully I don't mess it up too much. All right, guys, that was Beckoning Oblivion. Thank you very much. For checking it out, I didn't finish my sentence. So yeah, let me know how that sounded, guys. The bedroom video, yeah. Nostalgic tune. Just checking the messages, guys. Thanks very much for tuning in, everyone. I'm going to take this opportunity to say thanks and let you all know that I managed to make affiliate on Twitch already, which basically means that I have better switch my second camera. Basically means I have more opportunities to engage with you guys. I can allow subscribers and a bunch of other stuff. So if you want to go over to twitch.tv/JoshMcMorran and create an account if you haven't got one, sign up. It can really help me out. Just viewing the show on Twitch as opposed to the other platforms will really help me out as well, because the next aim is to become a partner where that would allow me to do so much more. So if you can jump over to Twitch, that would be great. And thanks for all the support for getting me to affiliate after just 2 episodes. Yeah, and I'm going to talk about, I've got some, I know we were meant to have Nick from Vervum here this week, but he should be coming next week, and I've got some other great guests lined up for you to talk about different stuff. Like I've got a guy who's had a very successful album that he produced himself and basically released, and he's gonna talk us through his experiences with that to help you guys, you know, if you're planning on making a new project, steps you can take to do well. So I will be playing games later on tonight as well. Probably going to be, I'm not sure yet what I'm looking to play, but I've got a bunch of games in mind for the future anyway. Definitely want to play the new Streets of Rage 4 game. That looks really fun. So if anyone has any questions, I'm just about to go back and speak to James a bit more. So alrighty. Hello, James. Welcome back to the show. So when James joined Vader, I was actually supporting, and he came on and basically did an encore. And he told me before the show that it was going down, and it just happened to be my favorite. I'll never forget this. It just happened to be like my favorite tracks from Vader at the time, and I was just like, well, you better not mess up then. Like sarcastically always. And your face was a picture, man. You were just like, thanks buddy, you dickhead, I'm nervous enough. I was trying to ease the tension a bit, because how old were you? You were 18 at that moment.
No, I was
a bit older.
When he just turned 21.
Just turned 21. That's still, Vader were obviously a big influence on you before you joined them.
Oh yeah.
What other bands would you say influenced you early on? Like, or drummers, maybe?
Slipknot's always the main. Slipknot's always the first. I think for pretty much anyone, any drummer sort of my age, Slipknot is.
Yeah, I mean, they had cheeky blast beats in there.
You know, with Crim, it was the same.
Mm-hmm. I remember when Crim released those Slipknot drum through videos. Oh, there's another subscriber. Yeah. Thank you, ATJ Drums. Thanks for that.
And, you know, Lars, like the classic thrash stuff.
Yeah, so which drummer did you see do blast beats to make you decide you wanted to start blasting?
It's probably back in the... It's probably Akakoka.
Oh, yeah, David.
Typical English answer. If you're outside of the UK scene, you probably don't know who they are these days. But
I don't know, man. They were at Metal Days. They're doing a good job there.
They started getting bigger, but they never really made it outside of the UK scene in their first run.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember in their prime when they were on like BBC talk shows?
Yeah,
talking.
I mean, wearing suits and everything. It was like the most English band ever.
Yeah, I mean that was great.
They did a blog back in the days when blogging was acceptable, and they said something about the one US tour they did and how no one liked them because it was just so English.
No, I've always been a big fan of those guys. My good buddy Fed's playing bass for them, and Sam as well. Sam on keyboards.
Sam is a legend. Yeah,
he helps Bloodshot a bit as well. So he's a good fella. Yeah, they're devils. Let's say. I think that's the phrase.
That's Sam's thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they scratch themselves as because they definitely like a drink. That's for sure.
They did a lot back in the day for the scene, and they're doing a lot now. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, the journeyman of the scene and masters on the instruments as well. Like they always put on a great show. So
yeah,
killer band.
Great songs.
They're also from the Reading area originally, no?
Bracknell, I think.
Bracknell, yeah.
Bracknell and Bedford.
Cool, Bracknell. That takes me back. I used to go to the Bracknell Leisure Centre when I was a young child.
Yeah. Cellar bars downstairs as well.
Yeah, I used to go there when I was a kid. God, that was so long ago.
Yeah.
Nostalgia City today. So you just released an album today with Vader, right?
That's right. Yeah. What's the album release day?
I didn't really do good enough research on it, but what's it called? And
it's called Solitude in Madness.
Solitude in Madness. There you go, guys. You can check out some videos. We're gonna delve into the first video they released on that soon. But are you happy with that album? This is what number album is this for you with recording?
With Vader, it's like the third proper album.
Third album, nice.
Third album.
And you released it you recorded it in more familiar circumstances, am I right?
Yeah, we did it with Scott again.
Yeah.
So it's the second album in the second week with Scott.
Just so you know, James has worked with Scott quite a few times in the past with Divine Chaos and maybe some
10 years.
Maybe some other bands, no? Or is it just Divine Chaos?
Yeah. I've been in Grindstone for about 5 albums or something like that.
Yeah. And you say he always seems to get the best out of you in short amounts of time.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's good. I mean, that's what you need, really. And
first choice every time.
How was the recording session for this album? Because obviously you had it in between a chaotic touring time.
It was another one that was between decap shows.
Yeah, so
it was like it was decap show in Portugal, a festival that Vader actually played the year before that, and then straight from the airport to pick up Pete from his terminal and drive to Scott's place.
In the middle of nowhere.
And then like straight back to the airport after finishing the album and flying out and starting doing a couple.
Just amazing.
No, then it was Witchery. It was Witchery in Australia after that.
Oh yeah, just a casual session trip to Australia. Was that was playing with some pretty epic bands as well, was it not?
I was playing in Witchery, and then it was Witchery at the Gates. Witchery Haunted and at the Gates.
Oh yeah, just at the Gates. Yeah, Cash. Yeah, how was that experience?
No, I was sick. I was just dead for the entire time.
So have you played any shows in Africa, or that's the one continent and Antarctica that you haven't hit up yet?
Yeah, I haven't touched them.
You done Vader Australia with Vader. You must have.
Yeah, we did Vader Creator. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. You did a few tours with him around the.
We've done a bunch with Creator. Yeah.
Between a few years, I remember you did some killer shows with them, and you played with Arch Enemy and stuff as well, didn't you? I remember that. It was
really weird because the first time we toured with Creator or played shows with them, I actually had no idea how big they were.
Yeah. And then you walk into the venues and you're like, okay.
No, it wasn't even that because it was festival tour.
Oh right, okay, so
we were on like different times. And they were just around the whole day, hanging out and being like super normal, super nice,
super casual guys. I've heard that they're really really humble fellas, and
they're the best. Yeah,
really nice.
And then we did a club tour with them, and I was like, oh my god, they're actually people are coming to see this band.
What kind of size venues was it? Like 800 sort of capacity, or?
No, we went on stage at 6 p.m. pretty much every day, 6 or 7 p.m. every day, and we had like 1,000 to 2,000 people there.
There you go, and that's you. That's you opening the bill. But again, I think that bill was just like,
that was stacked. It was Vader, Southern arch enemy, Creator.
Yeah, I mean that's you can't really go wrong with that. That's gonna cause a stir for sure.
No, it was killer. It was one of the best tours for sure. But
yeah, I mean Vader. I've seen Vader quite a few times over the years, and you definitely like the bigger shows, the bigger stages with you guys, because you get to get the production out and stuff, you know.
Yeah, but I think with Vader's music, you know, it's really, we're not a good headliner on those kind of bigger shows, because it's better to be a support for us and just play 40 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I saw you guys on one of the Academy shows. I can't remember.
That was Testament.
Yeah, Testament and Arch Enemy, right?
No, Annihilator.
Annihilator, that was it, yeah. And I mean, that bill was, you guys obviously a lot heavier, but it was still a perfect intro, and that was a killer show as well. I really enjoyed that one. So
yeah, it was.
That was one of the better times that I've seen Vader for sure.
I think we found.
Do you think the whole band prefer it with a little less pressure? Because I mean, Vader are a band, probably one of the hardest working death metal bands in the scene, and you're headlining a lot. Do you feel like comfortable going on first? Does it feel like for Peter as well, like to have?
Because I know that everybody on stage is going to kill it, so I kind of feel bad for the other bands going on after us.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to set the standard when you're supporting. I mean, we've always, in Bloodshot, when we've played, we've always had that ethos that if we're opening, we've got to give it our all and start the show off with a bang, so people know that the night's going to be good from there on out.
Because if other bands want to posture and headline over us, I'm not against it in theory.
Yeah, of course. But it's their funeral.
But it's like, okay, we're probably going to smash you.
I mean, we are playing blast beats at over 240 BPM for the whole thing, so
it
just get on our level.
Well, it's also the lineup's so strong, and we've had the same crew,
How many shows do you reckon you've played as a four? Do you reckon it's it hit 1,000?
It's about 1,000,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's admirable in itself, guys. Like,
it's a lot of shows over a very long time. So,
but as soon as this all this situation stops, I'm assuming you're getting back in the tanks and going out there and
there's a plan
to tour another 500 shows in the next 3 years.
Well, the album's just come out, so
yeah, time is now, really. Do you reckon Peter would get involved with any like sort of streaming, maybe if you're having to wait to tour? Would Vader potentially stream a show? Because I mean, it's not an impossibility nowadays.
No, and now the restrictions are getting a bit more lax here, we can think about actually all getting the train to the same location.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, especially with the song we're just about to listen to in a bit, that people are going to really be interested and want to see some of the new material live for sure, because it sounds great. Totally.
But right now it's been a bit of an issue just getting to the same place.
Yeah, of course.
And also we have to still make sure that the gathering is less than 10 people.
Yeah.
Probably needs sound, ideally lights.
Yeah, I mean, health has got to be the number one, because you can't do anything if you're not healthy. But we've all got to try and get back to normal as quick as possible. And
no one's against it. We just got to figure out a way to actually get it done.
Yeah, there's no rush on these things as well. We've all got to stay healthy.
No. So we're working that out. I think if we can. The ban right now on shows is until the 31st of October. So if it looks like September's actually going to be doable, then we'll do that, and we won't bother with streaming, I think. But If it looks like it's going to go on longer than that, then we'll.
Nuclear Blast seem to be really. I mean, the album is out on Nuclear Blast, and they seem to be really like helping their artists right now get the streams going and stuff. With like Frappers doing his show and a lot of other bands.
Sandwiching me hard about streaming.
Oh, the stuff. Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, it seems to be. I've been keep saying it, but it seems to be like it's the future as well. Like this whole situation has forced people's hands to get into it, but I feel like in the next few years this is going to be quite normal for bands to be interacting this way.
I think a decap stream is much more likely, to be honest, because we all live in the same town.
Yeah, I mean that would be really cool if everyone would love to see that. Fog's been putting out videos of him playing riffs, and that's been driving people crazy in itself, you know, playing some of the old songs and stuff like that.
Yeah, the thing is with Vader right now, we all live long way away, you know. We're spread out all over the country, and Poland is a big country.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess the normal situation is that you would fly to each other, like internal.
No, we still. You can still take the train, take buses, or whatever. It's not hard, but it's much more difficult.
Yeah, public transport in itself, in any degree right now, is not safe, really. Well, either.
Intercity travel is.
Yeah.
Right now, it's actually doable here, but it's not.
Not advised.
It's not exactly simple.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be doing it. I'll be going to Warsaw to record an album next week. So, fingers crossed.
That's good. I mean, it's good to see that you're able to do that, and especially that you're able to just play your drums in itself. Because I imagine it's nice to have a little bit of time off, but you want to keep your chops up, especially when you're playing so many shows.
Well, I just had a month off, so
yeah, that's probably the first month off you've had in years, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to carry on now, and I've got some. I am in a band with James, but this Friday segment is to do an interview, really, to get some answers out to the peoples. So we got some questions as well, but I'm probably going to just divulge into the questions at the end because we've got quite a few, so we can just do them.
Yeah, we'll just get a whole.
We'll do them all in a row, yeah. So yeah, I'll do. Let's start with our interview. I don't even know what I said then. Right, so James, welcome to the interview. So why did you start being a musician? What was your initial influence? Like
why?
What triggered you to be like? Yeah, what was like the reason?
What the fuck did you do that for? I don't know.
I'm not talking about the regret. I'm talking about the reason why. Like, did your dad go, "You're going to play an instrument, son, and you're going to enjoy it"?
No, my parents.
Good old Alan.
Trying to get me to play instruments, but not drums.
No, yeah. Well, I wanted to play drums, to be honest, when I started, but my parents basically refused to let me have a drum kit.
Yeah.
So I was like, how am I supposed to learn? They were like, you can have lessons at school, but you're not allowed a drum kit. It's like, well, this is pointless. So that's why I got lumped with trying to be a vocalist, guitarist.
Well, I figured I'd give it a go, drumming. I didn't really take to any instrument before that. And
what age was this? Like, were you 12? Yeah, quite young. So
I was already fairly on the beaten path.
Alcohol problem, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
The British schooling system's not great, guys. You know, just look at these two mugs. This is what they produced. But
I just figured I'd give it a go.
Yeah, you just
took to it. You know, my parents humoured me, bought me a drum set and stuff. So it's all their fault.
Yeah, well, we can blame Alan and your mum. By the way, James' dad isn't actually called Alan, but
no, he's not. He's Colin.
He came and guested at a festival for us, and I couldn't for the life of me get his name in time. And the first thing that came to mind was Alan Partridge, so I just called him Alan. And,
Which is fair.
Yeah, it's kind of suitable after meeting him. He was a comedy character.
Well, he is unintentionally hilarious, yeah.
Yeah, but
I also fall into that character.
Yeah, I would agree. You definitely.
I'm getting worse.
Plucked from the same branch, you two. It was meeting you together. It was very funny. Very fun time.
Euthanasia. This is it, man. This. Awful.
So what's the most inspiring piece of gear that you have ever owned? Like what piece of gear did you get? Like a snare or something that just made you be like, oh, I really want to practice? And is there anything in particular, or for pedals maybe?
I mean, there's been a few sort of landmark pieces of gear. I think you've probably had this as well when you get a certain guitar or a certain amp and you're like, I'm not worthy of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have to practice harder. So there's been a few landmark moments. Definitely, the first Tama kit I got from Tama.
Yeah. What kit was that?
It's the same one.
Same one you're using now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful kit.
Vader, it's the one from, or at least the Vader one. Vader's drum set.
The one you use in the video, I guess. The new video.
Yeah. That's been with me since 2014.
Nice.
So
and that just changed.
Changed the hardware. I've changed some of the hardware because it's had
been beaten in
600-700 shows with me.
That is some warhorse kit.
Yeah.
How's the condition of it? Is it still? I mean, because it's looked after, obviously, by the techs.
It's all right. It's looked after by me as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but don't get me wrong. It's
been thrown around a bit, so it's not really album worthy these days. But it does just fine live.
And so when you got that kit, you kind of found your footing, so to speak. You were like, this is the exact positions I want. Have you kept the same setup that you initially got comfortable with?
No, I've added stuff. I've moved stuff around a bit, but it was more that when we just set it up. Before that, actually, when you toured with us, we had the black pearl drums and everything.
Yeah, I remember. But that was in 2013. Yeah, it was January. And
No, it was just after that tour that I got my Tama drums. So 2013. They've been with me for 7 years.
7 years. That's incredible.
Yeah, those drums are great. We still have them, or Vader's management still have them. But it wasn't. It was like, it felt to me like a renter kit. It felt like someone else's kit.
Yeah.
And so when I got the Tama ones, it was like, oh, this is my sound.
Yeah, I mean, I can attest to the sound of them as well, because I'm used to the acoustics of them. I just really love the Tama sound. It sounds really tight and stuff. You use the same kit on the new Bloodshot album, if I'm not mistaken, or a similar.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's that Vader one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, just so you know, guys, new Bloodshot album is recorded. James has done all his parts, and it's sounding pretty great.
Coming up to a year soon.
Yep. It's not our fault. We got we got expensive taste as far as production goes for this one, so it's going to be killer. But there'll be more about that soon when there's more details.
Well, yeah, don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere. What's your fave gig? The best gig you've ever played, and why?
There's Wacken 2016 is definitely top contender.
Yeah.
That
was that main stage, or was that one of the big tent stages, or?
Yeah, it was a tent, but it's one of those shows.
The tents are still like 20,000 capacity, aren't they? So stupid.
Bigger.
Yeah.
It's one of those shows where you're like, I really have to nail this. And then it came off stage like, yeah, I nailed that. So it was.
Can people find that set on? Because Wacken film a lot of sets. Do you reckon
that's on YouTube?
It is on YouTube, so you can check that out. That was 2016, did you say, or 17?
Yeah, 16. Yeah.
2016. You can check out. This is James's favorite.
Vader Wacken 2016. It will come up straight away.
And I'm sure Wacken always do a professional job filming, and the sound's always killer on those videos. So definitely go check that out if you guys are looking to watch James play a bit. on his favourite show. It's all professionally filmed, so that's good. So you got any advice? I know this is such a vast question, because if you were to give anyone who wants to be a touring drummer in bands and do what you do, the one fundamental bit of advice, what would you give them?
Say yes to everything. You
never stop learning, and say yes, and just get the experience.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you get more experience, you will get fucked over a lot, but again, you just add it to
the music industry in itself.
The pile of experience that you're going to get,
So just take any job that, I mean, obviously you don't want to take jobs that aren't within your ability, or do you just go for it anyway?
No, I've gone for it anyway. I haven't really thought about it too much. It's just, okay, well,
fake it till you make it kind of thing.
Well, yeah, or just, it gives you an excuse to improve.
Yeah, the incentive would be massive. Well, that's good. So you think putting pressure on yourself and making yourself get yourself out there is the best way to.
Well, there's no substitute for just jumping in at the deep end.
Yeah, that's very sound advice, honestly.
You can think about it for as long as you want, or you can just get on and do it.
So you went to uni, you went to BIM to study drums. Is that a regret to you? Because you're saying about jumping right in, because obviously BIM doesn't exactly throw you straight in.
Well, for me, they were nothing but supportive. They let me tour.
Were you in Vader whilst you were at BIM? No, it was pre-Vader.
No, they gave me. I was doing the audition process, and I got the gig in my last year at BIM.
Yeah.
They gave me a lot of sound advice, and they helped me kind of figure out a practice routine that would help me get up to scratch.
So you reckon it's best to take every job you can, but once you're prepared, like to do a professional job, because obviously reputation is important with session and stuff.
I was just kind of doing what I could when I could.
That's good.
And using BIM to help me do that.
Cool.
And well, they were really cool about it. It was really helpful. I did my first session tours while I was at BIM. And
just so you know, guys, BIM is short for Brighton Institute of Modern Music, and it's
well, these days it's short for British Institute of Modern Music.
Because it's got bigger now, because it's there's one in Manchester and stuff like that.
Right, back in the day. But
yeah, when I went there, I didn't stay for long. I was a failed student, unfortunately. But yeah, it's basically like a music college, and it's run by musicians. And a lot of people have gone through there. Ben Ellis, our previous Bloodshot guitarist, went there. He was probably there whilst you were there, I imagine.
He was there, yeah.
Yeah, similar sort of time period. So yeah, I mean, if you're, this is for younger people, I guess, or even people, you're never too old to go to uni, I guess. But if you really want to become a professional musician, you can learn directly from people who have done it. Oh, we got a special guest appearance from the kiddie. Yeah. Simba hasn't made an appearance yet, but I think that's because I got the door locked. I'll lock him in here one day. But yeah, just cue her just jumping in your head whilst you're answering a question or something.
She's in shot. There you go.
Yeah. All right, so here's a couple of kind of corny questions, but interesting nonetheless for people listening. If you could drink with a musician, dead or alive, who would it be, and what would you ask them? One question.
It's actually a good question. I mean, there's plenty of musicians now that passed on that would be great to have a drink with. I was lucky enough to meet Lemmy. Didn't have a drink with him.
Yeah, that's amazing. I wish I'd met him. I saw Motorhead a few times though, and
I think Lemmy's probably going to be the most fun person to have a drink with.
You know, if you start drinking with Lemmy, well, from what I've read and all the documentaries and stuff, you're not allowed to stop. Pretty much, you got to, because Lemmy would drink every day, obviously, but
yeah, Jack and Coke non-stop.
Yeah, some days he'd just, drink enough to put a man in hospital, and it would just be a casual day for him. So.
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
So would you even ask him anything, or would you just try and survive?
You know what? In my experience, I've found that I've learnt more by not asking questions necessarily.
Yeah. Just letting the drink do the talking.
Not chatting bullshit with people has ended up with some surprising results.
Yeah.
I remember.
Well, no one wants to be interrogated, really, do they? Like, no one wants to be asked also, 20 questions.
We have that code, stuff a sandwich. No one wants to be that.
Yeah, of course.
And it's kind of a habit for most people when you meet someone that you.
Meet someone that inspires you or whatever.
It's like a hero for you. Then you really want to know everything about them. But
so you reckon you just play it cash? You just sit down at the drink and just bullshit with him.
Oh yeah, those people will tell you things.
I'm sure Lemmy always had a lot to say anyway. Like, you probably didn't even have to talk in his presence.
Yeah, but I just remember my first ever kind of minor event. And they let me into the London Drum Show, which was crazy. They introduced me to Derek Roddy and stuff.
Oh, mad.
Derek was looking after me for the whole day. And we didn't really talk about drums or techniques or anything like that.
No, you just connected on a human level as opposed to...
We were just chatting about other stuff,
Just chilling out, yeah.
We were just hanging, yeah. And then the Minor guys and Derek, we all went to dinner. And then all these other crazy drummers showed up, like this guy called Will Calhoun, who's really, really good. Like a Afrobeat jazz drummer. Horacio Hernandez, who's like the top Latin drummer in the world.
These are all just the big cahoots at the moment in the scene, I guess, the drumming scene.
I just felt I felt like such an imposter at that table. There was like the head of DW.
It's good to be humbled, though. Definitely, that's when you know you're doing well.
I mean, it was beyond, and I ended up sitting opposite Will Calhoun, in a Thai restaurant, and he was just talking about like the crazy shit that used to happen to him on tour, and he was talking once about meeting Jason Bonham, who's a friend of his, like not like just
a casual friend
randomly in Canada, and he saw like Jason had his arm in a sling, and Will said like, "What's up, man? What happened?" And he said, "Well, my girlfriend really pissed me off, so I punched an ATM." Right? And then he told me, but Jason was on tour at the time, and he had to play drums
in a cast
sling. And the way they did it was they had like an electric pad for the snare. So with his right arm, he was doing all the big hi-hat crashes and toms and stuff.
Yeah.
And with his left hand, he was doing the finger. Like that.
So, well, I mean, where there's a will, there's a way, I guess. Like, jeez.
Yeah.
Blasting would be fun like that, though. Like, blasting with fingers on tables is addictive. So,
and then Will Calhoun told me that, Jason showed him his finger, and he had like a callus like that,
like an extra finger on top.
Yeah.
That's disgraceful.
And and there was loads of stupid.
I mean, to hear little stories like that, that's just the kind of stuff you want.
And that dinner than I did from years of interrogating drummers afterwards.
You just sat back and let it out.
I just came away feeling really super good.
That's awesome. So yeah, there you go, guys. If you get a chance to meet your heroes, try and play it cash, and maybe you'll get more out of them than you would have thought.
You'll get much more out of them than if you just interrogate them, because they go into defense.
I got one more question for you on these, and then I got some quick fire ones. This is more of a recommendation. So, what's the best band you can think of that no one's heard of? Like, maybe not saying no one's heard of, but that people should have heard of that they haven't. What's the best new band that you can think of? It doesn't have to be new, actually. It can be any.
No.
It can be, underground bands?
My underground go-to used to be this band called Answer, ANSUR.
ANSUR. Okay.
It's still on Spotify.
What is it? What, like death metal, or is it?
It's everything. It's mad.
Oh, okay.
But the vocals are terrible.
You're not selling it well. The best go-to is vocals are terrible.
Like, it should be awful, but it's amazing. Like, it's genuinely amazing.
Where are they from? Are they
from Norway?
Norwegian band.
They were signed to Nocturnal Art Productions, which is Samot's record label.
Okay.
So it's like it had this grounding in black metal, and the first album's like proper black metal, like super lo-fi, ultra badly produced, ultra badly played, but cool. And then the second album was like this weird jazzy progressive epic.
Nice.
With like really horrible half-sung vocals that make no sense, but it's still incredible.
Well, there you go, guys. There's James' underground recommendation. I've never heard of those guys.
Goes from black metal to trance to country, all through a 12-minute long song. It's amazing.
Well, there you go.
It's worth it.
I've got some quick fire questions. Metallica or Iron Maiden?
Metallica.
This doesn't really work for you, but I'm going to say... Well, you could... For the fries. McDonald's or Burger King?
When I did... McDonald's. McDonald's had the chicken legend.
There you go. I know you're a minor player, so I'm not going to add them to the mix, but Sabian or Zildjian?
Zildjian, 100%.
100%. Dogs or cats?
Cats.
Yeah,
but sometimes I wish I had a dog. Mihalina, are you fucking listening?
Take her to the pound.
I know.
I always threatened my cat with that. I threatened to take him to the local cat pound and replace him, and he doesn't listen.
We'll just get a dog.
Right, and the final question of this annoying interview is the best band in the world ever. No reason or rhyme, just the name. And then people have to think why. You got to let people think about it.
All right, best band in the world ever. First band that comes to mind that isn't a band I play in is Slayer.
Slayer, there you go. James is number one. I would not agree, but that's me. Oh, didn't mean to do that.
No, it's...
But yeah, that just about wraps up this interview. People might be getting a little bored of us, so I'm going to...
cheers.
Question. Of me. Yeah, it's my questions. I'm just going to put some more music on, I think.
Yeah, crack on.
Or am I? Interesting.
Yeah, great music so far. That's right. You got any tumbleweed videos?
right, that was Into Oblivion by Vader. Their album is out today, and you can go help them out and go buy some, buy their song on iTunes or something. First week sales are really important for bands, especially bands on labels like Nuclear Blast. They need all the sales they can get early on to keep the machine happy. Killer track though, guys. I'm sure you can agree. Relentless. Vader, one of the most consistent bands going. They haven't put out a bad record, so it's you know what you're getting with Vader. All right, so we're gonna go back to James now, and we're gonna wrap the show up with some Q&A from the internet. So, if anyone has any questions, now's the time. So James, people are into Divine Chaos and stuff. That's right. Good.
Really good, yeah.
People are enjoying that. Questions seem a bit slim though. I think everyone's been getting the answers they've been wanting.
I see more comments than questions.
Well, that's good. That means we're keeping people interested with what we're yabbering on about anyway. So, yeah. So, I mean, thanks for coming, James. And we're pretty much...
Is that it? We're questionless.
Yeah, we're questionless. Unless someone asks a question in the next few seconds, then we don't really need to...
Now.
Don't really need to go.
Now. Nope. Nothing.
There's just a lot of people saying they remember seeing us. Just comments here and there. You did miss the 33 discussion, but you can see it. All the shows will be back on YouTube. There's a lot of... I haven't seen anything on Facebook on my chat feed, unfortunately. I'm having some issues with my stream provider. They're going to get all the hell when I get back
all
off of the stream.
Not 50%, just all of the hell.
No, I don't play in halves. But yeah, guys. So this Sunday I'll be doing my next show, and that'll be my first Sunday songwriting session. Oh, there's another. Look, there's a Pushkins. That's better than any questions that could be asked. Yeah, exactly. I hope everyone's enjoyed the show today. I'll be back later on to game, and you can just come and mess around with me, and we can just have fun on Friday night. Have a laugh. So yeah, thanks James. Thanks for answering all the questions. Yeah, we'll see you. I'll see you guys on Sunday, hopefully. So yeah, thank you very much. Cheers, guys.
All right.